So Iain, congratulations on reaching such a landmark age for an independent label. How does it feel to see the business that you started back in 1978 reach the grand old age of 30?
Well, the funny thing is when you start something, you start it and you have all those kind of ambitions and expectations, but you don't think that far ahead. So when I started Cherry Red in 1978 with the tight single Cherry 1, I had a few ideas where I would like the company to go, but I didn't really think beyond 3 or 4 years. And then 3 or 4 years down the line, I think maybe another 2, 3, 4 years. So you can't possibly think 30 years ahead. And I think that's the thing about Cherry Red, that we've reinvented ourselves. We've had to, because the market has changed, the economics has changed, the music has changed, the structure of the business has changed, how you get music has changed. And every time that's happened, we've had to sit down, I say we, the team of Cherry at the time, and re-look and say, right, things are changing, where do we go from here?
So with any business that has the sort of longevity that Cherry Red has, there will be inevitable ups and downs along the way. Has it been difficult at times to keep things moving forward?
Well, there's always challenges. If you think of, if I had to think for a minute what the big challenges are, I think, well, our distributor Pinnacle went bankrupt around 1985. We lost £100,000 overnight, which was, it's a lot now. It's even more then. It's probably more like £250,000 then. And we had to basically rework our cash flow and talk to our suppliers and really take some big steps to re-secure the company again. So, and there was a time when Michael Orway upped and left and went to get Warner Brothers backing to start Blanco Negro, and again took part of the roster with him. So then we had to rethink and reinvent ourselves. So it's happened several times, those challenges, but that's part of running a business. You have your down things that happen that aren't so good, and you have to pick yourself up and you have to rethink and move forward again. That's the challenge. If it goes smoothly, it's boring, quite honestly, or too smoothly anyway.
So what would you say are the biggest changes in the way that the label operates between 1978 and now?
Well, in 1978, everything was just 7-inch vinyl. No one had thought of 12-inch singles. When I say everything, there was 12-inch vinyl for albums, but no one then had thought of 12-inch singles. There was certainly no CDs. There was cassettes, it's true. There was certainly no downloads. There was no internet. There was no faxes. It was the old telex for doing things. So everything was so different. There was no computers. Everything was so different in those days. But then it was about pressing up 1,000 or 2,000 singles, and then you got like the pressing done one place, the label somewhere else, and the actual covers somewhere else, and they had to put it all together. So it was completely different from now.
So I guess the question that many people would ask, particularly those starting their own labels, is what is the secret to having such a long lifespan?
Well, you have to believe in yourself. You have to have good people around you. You have to be able to see the future to an extent. You have to be good at controlling your cash flow and looking after money. You have to have great ideas. And when things go wrong, you have to pick yourself up and try and move forward. And when things go right, you also have to handle that well, because many a business has gone down when they're doing well because their cash flow's got all messed up. So you've either got to have the talents yourself, or you've got to find people with the talents you haven't got to cover what you don't have. That's the secret, really.
And how much are you looking forward to tonight's event? There seems to be people coming in from around the world, so it sounds like a good evening in prospect.
Yeah, well, it's fantastic because we have Jim Bob playing, we have Attila the Stockbroker, I haven't seen for many years, and we have, for me, the legendary Monogram set reformed just for this gig after about 12 years, so that's fantastic.
And what of the future? We live in challenging times, not just for record labels, for all industry. Do you think we'll see Cherry Red celebrating its 40th, 50th, even 60th birthday?
Well, whether I'll be around I hope I'll be around for the 40th and the 50th, the 60th is probably pushing it a bit. Whether there's still the banking system to support it, though, after the events of the last few days is something else. I think we'll have a very different society in even 10 years' time. It's going to shock a lot of people. But hopefully Cherry Red will still be there, and we'll be doing things, I'm sure, in a different way. But hopefully we'll be still doing things in an exciting way and be successful.
Okay, well, thank you very much, Ian, and enjoy the evening.
Thank you, Mr. Bristow. Yeah.